花を捧げればパンを得られる。税を捧げれば権利を得られる。労働を捧げれば報酬を得られる。なら一体何を捧げればこの世のすべてを知れる。
So, what must one offer up to obtain recognition in the cosplay world? Have you ever dreamed of becoming someone different? Logically, every gain requires sacrifice. One of them is money. To reach that level requires money. This is related to consumer behavior, transactions, sales, and purchase, which also occur in the world of J-pop culture, especially cosplay world, which means social recognition in the cosplay world is structured by consumption. Everyone in this world has their own role to play. Singers get microphones to sing into, actors appear on television, and dancers practice following their choreography. But under the glare of flashing cameras, to whom do cosplayers show themselves? A model that barely even exists. Cosplay events are always in live by J-pop music, lights, DJs, and even merchandise stores. This is evident from the many cosplay event posters available every week. From Jakarta to overseas, J-pop culture itself, enthusiasts come to find the items they like and even take pictures with their favorite cosplay models. According to Kotler, consumer behavior is the study of how individuals, groups, and organizations choose, buy, use, and utilize goods. One example is how J-pop fans can spend ₦1,000,000 just to attend an event. This does not include how much they spend on Japanese themed clothing and other merchandise. According to IDN Times, Indonesia ranks third as the country with the most anime fans in the world. This means that there is significant consumer behavior in the world of cosplay. The questions are, how much do they spend to seek recognition, find escape, and become someone else, even if only for a short time? What happens behind the scenes? Are cosplayers one of the driving factors behind consumer behavior? Cosplayers are not merely victims of culture or lifestyle trends. One of the driving factors is transformation, the desire to become a different persona, specifically to escape reality. Someone who is shy in the real world but cheerful and expressive in the world of cosplay. Likewise, a man who escapes his moral responsibilities then changes his appearance to a woman. Becoming a cosplayer is like hiding one's flaws behind falsehood, but J-pop events are always crowded with visitors and generate a lot of profit, even though there are places when there is significant consumer behavior. They buy wigs because they want to cover their real hair. They buy expensive costumes because they do not want to wear ordinary clothes. They attend events because they want to escape and find entertainment. They even spend money on expensive event tickets. The average price of J-pop event tickets range from 15,000 and even millions for VIP seats at major events. Another factor driving consumer behavior is delusion. The more people like fictional characters, the more willing they are to spend money on merchandise from the fandom. The current lifestyle trends includes playing a mobile game called Love and Space, a dating game for women. In it, there are many male characters with different backgrounds who are ready to pamper their consumers. The feature provided not only include compelling stories but also sleep calls, which means the game fulfills many mental needs for women. This makes them spend money to get early access or purchase in-game features, and if they find merchandise from the fandom at J-pop event, a purchase is bound to happen. Fans of J-pop culture are not only driven by adults. As games and animations spread worldwide, even young children are now part of the culture. This has led to the emergence of young cosplayers, making them a contributing factor to consumer behavior. At this age, they tend to be more impulsive to fear of missing out. If one of their friends wear a costume, they feel compelled to follow. As a result, many cosplay without understanding the characters they portray, yet are willing to spend money. The reason many settle into FOMO is the amount of attention and praise they receive on social media. By stepping onto a stage wearing nice costumes, they receive praise that fuels their craving for attention. It helps them overcome their lack of confidence. Furthermore, the basic rule of cosplayers is to wear costumes and wigs to become part of the community. However, not all cosplayers make good use of their costumes. They feel that simply following a trend makes them worthy of being called as cosplayers. Makeup is also one of the biggest factors driving purchase. People flock to pay any ways to look good. In other words, cosplayers use their bodies as a medium to express something implicitly. They all want to be someone different, unknown to society. They even use stage names to hide their identities. I am an introvert, but cosplaying in the crowd doesn't scare me at all. After all, they don't know who I really am. If I take off my wig, they will not recognize me. In fact, the majority of cosplayers feel the same way, and to cover it all up, they spend money on makeup. Another factor in consumer behavior is the presence of parasocial relationships in society. For example, J-pop culture consists not only of animation and games, but also virtual YouTubers, which is one of them is Kobo Kanairu, YouTubers who hide their identity behind fictional avatars. A person's lifestyle can be seen from their activities, interests, and opinions. People's lifestyle differ according to their needs. Many parasocial individuals avoid physical contact or real communication with their peers and choosing to interact with virtual YouTubers. But communicating with them requires money. To get their idol attention, many send money to show support. And the realistic yet cruel world of cosplay, virtual YouTubers naturally choose to remember fans who spend a lot of money for them. They then give exclusive merchandise, causing other fans to experience FOMO and fall into the same cycle of consumer behavior. The presence of photographers can also drive consumer behavior. When someone is photographed under flashing lights and surrounded by many people, they look like celebrities. But what about cosplayers who are not popular? This situation makes them feel unworthy of being photographed. This is where FOMO comes into play in another form. Many end up choosing currently popular characters, hoping for a higher chance of being photographed. However, the more popular the character, the more competitors there are at events. They often become one among many, looking no different from the rest. They eventually spend money to hire photographers. This is not because they want to result the pictures, but perhaps due to ego and emotional hurt that they attempt to soothe through purchase. The money earned by photographers then gets spent on their camera equipment. The more and fast the camera, the greater the cycle of purchase and upgrades. Photographers themselves choose cosplayers who wear costumes that suit their taste. It can be said that photographers also have their own standards when choosing models, and if there is none suitable, sometimes they spend money to choose one person to wear a costume that they think will be suitable. Photographers themselves choose cosplayers who wear costumes that suit their taste. It can be said that photographers also have their own standards when choosing models, and if there is none suitable, sometimes they spend money to choose one person to wear a costume that they think will be suitable. Many cosplayers bump into each other and feel jealous of others who are more popular, which triggers even greater spending in order to compete. Cosplay can cause an identity crisis. For people who have different personas in real life, it can be confusing to know how to respond to themselves. In the academic world, some people tend to be serious. In a family environment, they may be relaxed. Meanwhile, they adopt yet another personality in the cosplay world. The first question that comes to mind is, who am I really? Is this the real me or fake? This internal emptiness push us further from our true selves. To fill that void, spending money becomes the fastest, though not the most efficient method. Someone who often wears skirts and appears sweet outside may choose to spend on revealing costumes. The opposite is also correct. It can be called as cross dress. person who sometimes wear clothes usually worn by a different gender. In short, the paradox and unhealthy lifestyle in the cosplay world actually drive consumer behavior. They want to change society perception of them. People who feel weak cosplay as a strong characters to cover their shortcomings. Women who do not want to be seen as feminine shift their identity as a male character. This can be seen through the picture and the video. Meanwhile, this is the second picture, where the same person shifts to a woman character. It might be a hint of embracing herself in terms of whole identity. Adults that running away from responsibilities might cosplay as teenagers, healing inner wounds, lack of confidence, and disappointment with society. Only in the world of cosplay do they find peace, finding people who really understand them. J-pop events often feature Japanese-based idol groups such as JKT48. The presence of beautiful teenage girls dancing, wearing cute outfits, and giving fan service drive fans wild. They fantasize and form communities dedicated to idolizing them. As a result, wherever JKT48 goes, fans will come and buy tickets to watch their performance. However, J-pop culture itself only thrives during events. Otherwise, consumer behavior becomes difficult to measure. This video is dedicated to all cosplayers in the world. Whatever your reasons for cosplaying, whatever identity you choose to embody, you are not alone. The world of cosplay is indeed challenging and full of pressure. Unlike the red carpet, we fight to be photographed and to meet expectations. That's all from me. It's time for my photo session. See you on the next stage. Jacinda Angel, out. Ultimately, the world of J-pop culture drives consumer behavior by converting socially negative factors such as madness, delusion, and mental health issues into source of economic value, fueling buying and selling. Psychological vulnerability reinforces consumption patterns through mental dependence on goods. In this context, it is cosplay encompassing costumes, wigs, and service, such as pictures taken by photographers. This emotional vulnerability is unconsciously normalized in cosplay culture. This is because many cosplayers consider buying wigs and costumes as a form of dedication and loyalty to the fandom, although in reality it is a form of issue that emphasizes fantasy over ideas. To achieve this, money is required, which brings us back to the concept of consumer behavior. Even after spending money, cosplayers rarely reflect on their actions. Their vulnerability remains unaddressed, as purchases offer only brief relief before the cycle of seeking recognition and consumption begins again. So, the questions that become the next point of discussion are Are there no cosplayers who can escape this consumer behavior? Can cosplay culture still be a healthy space for expression without this logic of consumption?